All right, so here we have the little cave where little Physic right here is in the process of dealing with Snake Man Godor here. And then down further over here around the campfire is where we have the rest of our heroes. So there is Celia, currently alive. Fortunately, she is sitting right next to Marigold, so that might assist. Not too far away, but not really sure what use he would be. We have Dalith. Next to Dalith, and the next paddle over, we have Jash with his big old flail. And then last but no means least, sitting next to Jash, we have Rush. All right. Let's go back to what's about to happen. So we'd rolled initiative, and unfortunately, Godor had beaten you. So as you guys probably are aware, we like to keep everything above board open and pretty much where everybody gets to see what happens. So for the interest of making this entertaining and so you guys know what exactly is going on, Cecilia has 14 hit points.
Level 0.
The damage done by Godor's basically stabbing the thing is 2d12.
Oh god.
Oh.
So we're going to be rolling this dice roll openly.
50-50.
So yeah, 2d12, that gives you, what is it, 6.5, so about 14 average. So yeah, it's about a 50-50. So if this dice roll is above 14, he's done. It's over.
What about unconscious dying state? I mean, does that factor in at all?
It does, unless you take all of your hit points in one blow.
Oh, that's right.
And she was recently healed, so she is on full.
Oh
So
my god, what?
yeah, if you take all of if you are a max hit points and
Oh
you
my
take
God.
all of your hit points in one blow,
Yeah, that's right.
you are done. You are dead. So, seeing as Satch wanted to drag this dice roll out a little bit, that's exactly what we're doing.
Oh.
I think Satch should roll it.
I'm not that vile. I'm not going to make Satch roll the damage, because then it's like really his fault.
I
mean,
will if you want me to go.
No, we got this for you. So, yeah. So, yeah, if this dice roll is over 14, unfortunately, now that they technically won't have failed because they were told just to bring back, if they find her dead, to bring back proof. It'll make for a very interesting discussion though when they get back. All right, enough's enough. Here we go. This is it, guys. Is Cecilia about to be killed by the voodoo? No! You are lucky.
Oh, wow.
It is only 4 damage. All right, so Godor stabs the doll, but unfortunately, because he is so gleefully staring at Physic as he does it, he misplaces the needle. He jabs it in the doll's shoulder. Those of you sitting down by the camp suddenly see Celia just clutch her left shoulder, scream in agony, and collapse to the ground. You can see blood pouring down from underneath her 2 clasped hands over the wound. Obviously, very clear something nasty has happened. All right, Physic.
Can I take a free action to shout?
You can shout if you wish, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna shout. He means to kill or help.
They're quite a way away, so I don't know if the party will hear. Plenty of the other people will hear. Plenty of the Agashi tribe will probably hear.
Okay. Well, as long as
but
I'm
that's a
trying to
free
make
action. So what do you want to physically do?
Okay. I have one of 2 actions I'm gonna want to do. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is the full distance, 40 feet away. I'm going to cast ghost sounds. Maybe not the full distance. Are these tiles right? These are small tents. Okay.
No, those tiles are definitely not right. Let me.
Yeah,
fix
that doesn't
for you.
seem right. I was like, wait a minute,
those are
what?
30. Those are supposed to be 30-foot tiles.
Okay.
I will rectify that for you real quick. There you go, 30 feet tiles.
So
All right.
full extent of my distance. I'm going to put it about here then, because that's the range of ghost sounds then, right? I believe. I'll populate it just to make sure.
Yeah, it's about 45 feet. That's good enough.
And basically, I'm just going to be in Godor's voice, making it sound like about the volume of, I guess, 5 men.
Yeah, you
But
didn't
in
mean to do
Godor's-
dancing lights then, did you?
Oh no, I didn't. I hit the wrong one.
I didn't think so. I was going to say, because that's
Yeah,
not...
my bad.
These
My
are not
bad.
the spells
Breathe,
you're
buddy,
looking for.
breathe. You got it.
I can't right now. Okay, just don't even talk to me, Shaggy. I have this crush, and it gets me all like flustered. I can't do it. Don't talk to me. Okay, so, yeah, close 45 feet. Okay, so I'm going to want the sound to be basically, because it can be up to, I think it's like my level's worth of person volume. So, just loud enough to make it ring throughout the camp. I want basically the sound of what Godor just basically said, except with a little more context. Bring me a lock of Bruhava's hair so that I can finish the spell and kill him, is the sound I want to basically ring through the camp.
Okay. Let's see.
So that it's like everyone knows what's up.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that'll be pretty loud. So you guys will hear that kind of echoing out through the encampment, coming from the northeast. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do?
So that would be a full action, yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm not gonna move out of his way because I'm going to continue to make it look like I'm fussing with him so that he has to do something else. Maybe.
All right, okay. So as soon as Bruhava hears that, he looks in utter horror, and basically he just drops the voodoo doll on the floor.
Oh, Godor, you mean?
Yeah. Drops
Okay.
the voodoo doll on the floor, and then he kicks it to the back of his cave, like with one foot, like, clutching his greenish snake on his right arm. He thrusts it towards you.
Okay.
The snake will snap out with an attempt to bite, but will be about half a foot short as it just and snaps right towards you. Meanwhile, so everybody back at the entrance, or not the entrance, the center point around the campfire heard this, as did quite a lot of the Agashi tribes, and clearly, sitting here right next to you, so did Bruhava, who leaps up from his pallet in front of the fire and glances with a very concerned look to his right.
And how does Cece? What happens to Cece?
As I said, she screamed, fell off the pallet, clutching her arm, and is bleeding profusely.
Okay.
So what does everybody want to do? Marigold, you're right there by Cece. What are you doing with her?
I would look up when I hear what physics said, and then look down at Cece and just hop to my feet and kind of crowd around her and go, Cece, you all right? And just take a look at her.
Okay, yeah. The blood pouring from her shoulder and the tears in her eyes indicate that that's probably a moot question. She definitely isn't all right, and is wounded.
What's wrong? What hurts? Tell me what hurts. I'll fix it.
Okay. She's kind of looking at you in utter disbelief at this point, as she, still clutching her shoulder, just takes her hands away and holds them up in front of you, so you can see the blood all over her hands and the big stab mark on her shoulder, which is really weird because there's a lot of blood, and there's like a huge big indentation where it looks like something was driven in, but you never saw anything do it.
I'm gonna look up at Josh and Rush and Dalton. And say, don't just stand there. I got this. Go see what physics needs. And then I'm gonna tend to her. And that's it.
I would have stood up with my rifle, and as I used my dash action, so I can only go like to the edge of the camp.
Oh, you only have a 20 movement?
Don't I? I think I do.
That was 30 for you.
You should have 30, I think.
No, I have breastplate medium armor on. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So as I ran by with my boomstick raised, I would have shouted to Bruhava, "Don't worry, Bruhava, we'll protect you." Like I would shout that around the campsite, so he knows that I'm not going to help Godor, since that's the voice we heard.
All right, Jash, what's he up to?
Would we? Did we know that was Physic, or was he playing like a recording?
It didn't sound like Physic. It sounded like It sounded like Godor.
Right. So I would probably stand up and, seeing just weirdness go on, I would just kind of look around the camp really quick and probably think like, "Where's the little one?" Because he's always causing trouble like this. And watching Daleth run past me, I would just kind of go and just kind of start running, following him in that direction. Well, I guess I could go a little further, so I'd probably get up to about here instead.
Okay.
Coming where the noise was coming from, right about there.
All right, so you're running up there. And what about Rush?
Yeah, I'm probably following.
Okay. So move Rush wherever he's going to be. So back up at the tent. All right, Physic.
Mm-hmm.
Your action. What do you want to do?
I'm going to. I need to protect myself here. I'm going to drop my summon Nature's Ally 4 with the wolves again. Hopefully,
you won't
getting
wolves?
a lot of. Hopefully, getting a lot of wolves.
Give me
so
just
I
a
roll
second
a D3.
then before you roll. Let me acquire a wolf. Are you talking about dire wolves or wolves?
Yeah, dire wolves. Yeah, because regular wolves, that'd be a lot of them, and they wouldn't really do much. But dire wolves, they're big and scary. They would send a snake man to the wall.
They would upset your average snake person.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and give me your dice roll. See how many you get.
It's 1d3.
I think so.
I believe so as well. I typed it and I put it in. Oh, there we go. Oh,
3.
cool.
Nice.
Where were these last time I did this?
All right, Shammy Ren resub. Thanks for that, my friend. 41 months. Much love for that. Take your
Thank
pants
you.
off and hit the hype.
Okay, so after I summon them, I kind of want them to surround him. The snake on the ground, does he count as a target?
The snake is not on the ground. It's wrapped around his wrist.
Okay, it's still wrapped around his wrist. Okay, so basically, I would be slinking back into my little mini pack of wolves here, and I would basically just be looking at Godor and telling him like, "You're not gonna move."
Do you want the wolves to attack first when they appear or no? Because you know they can if you want them to.
They can. I'd like them to hold in case on his action he does something crazy. If he does something crazy, then I would like them to do something.
All right. Okay.
Basically, they're there as an intimidation.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, he does seem rather startled and surprised as the massive dire wolves suddenly appear, snarling and breathing hot breath on him. He's like, you see him suddenly look absolutely terrified, and he starts to glance around in utter panic mode, like, what can I do? Where can I go?
You can stay still, buddy.
All right, so back down at the camp. So Marigold.
Hello. Alright, I am going to cast a light heal on CC.
Right.
And, hold on. Where's
Let's see.
That's his.
All right, yes. Tritherion's healing light bathes her shoulder. As you wipe away the blood, you can see that the impale mark is completely gone, and CC kind of like gasps and looks at you in utter disbelief as the wound just mysteriously vanishes. Alrighty, let's see. So Bruhava at this point now has got up and he is running forward also. So Jash, Rush, and Daleth.
I guess I would just keep running up here, and then seeing wolves, I would probably hesitate here. Can I see Physic in between all the wolves?
Yeah,
Or kinda
yeah.
Yeah,
hidden?
because he's
I'm
at the
kinda like
back of
standing
all
back.
the wolves. So.
Oh, he is. Okay. So I just look at him. Just, what's going on?
I'm a little preoccupied. I'd probably have nothing to say to that.
As I continue to run after Jash is running, every Gachi tribe person I see, I'm just gonna say, "Protect Bruhava! Protect Bruhava!"
Well, as you're kind of running forward, you can see that an awful lot of them have kind of that were in that neck of the area have come running up to kind of see what's going on. The two big dudes that were always outside of Bruhava's tent, hearing that, do immediately kind of rush forward to be side by side their leader. And looking at Bruhava, it's difficult to question whether or not the man would ever actually need any protection. But you know what? They have a job to do.
I'm totally saying this for the sake of our party, not for these guys.
Yeah.
The whole point of this is to show what side we're on here.
All right. So, back to the top. So you guys, as you're running up there, you see the ginormous wolves. But beyond them, you can see Godor. Realizing that he is outgunned, outmanned, Godor drops to the ground and begins to sob.
Oh!
Yes. Yes, that's what he deserves.
And begins to cry into his own hands.
Can I have the wolves kind of fan out more around him, kind of surrounding side to side?
Yep.
And then I'll stand on the side with the one, and then the other two can kind of flank so the others can see their sobbing shaman.
Okay, yep.
Okay.
Alrighty. Bruhava will continue to rush forward.
I think we all will.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, move
I'm
yourselves.
basically I'm inviting an open forum for his trial at this point.
Marigold, what are you doing with Cece?
Hearing all the noise, I'm gonna say, Cece, do you want to go look and see? Do you want to go look and see? Clearly, because I want to go look and see. I'll try to help her up and start walking over.
She basically she seems in shock, so she's kind of not really saying anything and just moving along, kind of just shaking ever so slightly. She's like being guided by you in whatever direction you send her in.
I will bring her along with me.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just start walking there.
I'd like to greet Bruhava as he approaches.
All right. Now, obviously,
Okay, yeah.
Bruhava's two bodyguards get with him.
And I'll probably kneel before him a little bit to make it seem as though I don't have
As
his
soon
shaman.
as Godor sees Bruhava begin to approach, he comes up on his knees, throws his arms in the air in a totally over-dramatic style, just like an English soccer player who just got flicked on the ear trying to get a free penalty. Lays down, puts his arms on the ground, almost in horror, and he says, Bruhava, they are violent, evil. They are trying to make it look like I am turning against you. This little creature here, he summoned these violent, evil beasts. He plans to kill me and replace himself as the tribal shaman in my defeat and after my death.
That's not how I see it, but that's an interesting perspective. He, from what I've seen, he intended to use the magic I brought back from the Goatmen to harm you in order to maybe, I don't know, usurp your position as chieftain here. And I wasn't about to let that happen. I arrested him with the help of my allies here, as it were, and called attention.
This is not true. The words that you heard were not words of my own making. He created them out of thin air.
To repeat what you had already said.
Yeah, you kind of look at everybody start staring, and you can hear the tribal people that were there start whispering. This one here kind of grabs one of the children and pulls the child kind of round behind him in a protective fashion. This one that was kind of already close to here, he kind of moves over and quietly yet very audibly, you hear him say, "Something strange is definitely afoot. The sounds came closer from the tent to the left, not from Bruhava's cave." And Bruhava speaks the truth. These giant vicious wolves did suddenly appear at the small one's command. He waved his hand and they suddenly just emerged out of the ground.
This is true. I did summon these wolves. And the sound was created by me, only to amplify what he had already said, to alert people as to what was happening.
Okay, Bruhava, with a very concerned look on his face, kind of stomps over, and giving no thought to the huge wolves at his sides that are just kind of like turning and growling at him. They kind of almost take like a slight cowering motion as he steps between them. He glares down at Godor, and you hear him say, "Is this true? What this small person speaks?" No, of course not, my lord. It is not true. You have known me. I have served you loyally for many years. He then turns to you and says, "What proof have you that what you speak is the truth?"
He tossed aside the doll, which he was intending to use. Those clay effigies I had brought you, asking if Godor would know of them. Godor said he was familiar with them and took them. He then took the one with the blonde hair and stabbed into the arm of it to see if it worked, to which our friend Cecilia screamed in pain, as it had worked. He intended to use this then to kill her if I went against his word, when he asked me to get a lock of your hair, implying that he would take your rule.
And why would he need a lock of my hair?
What
good would this do him?
The way those clay effigies work, with the lock of the individual's hair, it seems, activates the magic within to allow harm to be done to the individual by doing that harm to the doll, as demonstrated when he stabbed it with the bone needle.
Physic,
Yes.
why don't you get a lock of Jash's hair and show it, as an example?
Does Josh have hair?
Josh is bald, and I
Well,
don't
no,
want hair
chest
from
hair.
anyone.
It's chest hair.
not bald. I just keep it high and tight.
Well,
Thank you.
It's a demonstration. Just,
If I may, Bruhava, recover the totem which he kicked into his cave to cover up his plan.
Okay, he looks at you and he glares at Godor and he says, "Yes."
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get it wherever he
As
kicked
you
it.
go past Bruhava, you see him. Go past Godor. You can see him like he wants to stop you, but he knows he can't because everybody's watching.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I'm
everybody
going to
comes
grab
looking. You can begin to see a look of panic begin to drift across his face, and his dark skin has like a yellowish tint beginning to develop in it.
You should probably go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. I'm gonna grab the effigy that he kicked off to the side.
Okay. So you pick up the small effigy with the corn-colored hair that you know belongs to Cecilia.
Were they coming up this way? I know they were.
I don't know. I'm assuming. Well, I think they were, weren't they? So they're probably here by now.
Cecilia,
if Marigold is bringing Cecilia up there, then they are.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, if Cecilia's brought up there already, I'm not even going to bother switching out the hair, because I don't know if switching out the hair would change the magic or if you have to do something to it.
Okay.
But seeing that Cecilia's there and Marigold's there, and I'm a scientist, not a humanitarian, I'm going to basically take the doll there and I'm going to show it to him and be like, this here represents her over there, and I'm going to point to Cecilia there.
All right, so he kind of looks.
And I'm going to do something that's kind of borderline unethical. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to be like, basically line myself up in the line of sight between Bruhava and Cecilia, so that he can see the doll, right?
Okay.
And her. I'm going to be like, this is the sick, twisted magic he intended to use, and I'm going to take the doll and just kind of poke it.
Okay.
That's not what I said.
Nothing. I mean, when you say poke it, I mean, are you breaking?
I'm gonna do a little bit of damage here.
Give me a d4 roll.
Okay. Was Sorry, Cecilia.
All right, so yeah, you see him prod the doll, and once again, Cecilia screams in pain and clutches her forearm as blood begins to drip out of her hands.
I got physics, stop it!
And she
I
screams
will as soon as
again.
it was just at one time. It's just at one time.
Jeez.
I said, do it to Jazz.
At that
I don't know if
point,
it would
seizing an opportune moment, Godor says, You see how wicked he is. He's even doing it to his own friends.
To demonstrate.
He's
what
not
you were
wicked, he's
doing
just
earlier.
an idiot. Somebody please get that doll away from them.
Okay, and I'm going to actually hand it to Brahava.
Okay,
Stop
he kind of
handing it
takes
to
it.
people!
And then looking at it very apprehensively, he walks over and hands it to Cecilia
Oh,
and gives it to her. As this thing seems to cause you harm, it seems that it would be more sensible that you have this for yourself. And he gives it to her. At that point, you kind of notice that he is now examining her quite carefully. And then he
thank you
looks
for
back
giving
at
me the
Physic
stack.
and says,
Thank you.
If this was true, why does she bear no other injury? Why does she bear no other marks, such as what you claim?
Marigold, you've been healing her?
Yes, just back there. Her shoulder just started bleeding. I healed it, thank God, or else you would have still seen the bruise and the blood.
A convenient story, clearly fabricated to cast more doubt upon me.
No, look! There's still blood on my hands! And I, show him the hand, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure
when I
there
healed
absolutely
her.
probably is, yeah. Where you kind of wipe the
I
blood
swear
away.
it!
Okay, this is where if forensics were a thing, it would come in handy, but it isn't, so it doesn't.
Can I roll forensic skill?
So you could definitely see a strange kind of solemn look drift across Brujava's face as you can kind of see his brain working, trying to fathom exactly what's going on here.
Man, it's too bad all these crimes are magical, otherwise it'd be straightforward.
Alright, after pondering just for a short period of time, Brujava looks at his two big guards and says, You will stay here to protect Godor from any further unfortunate incidences. And then he points at Physics and says, You! Call off your dogs.
I do immediately.
You wanted to just back them up, or are you
Yeah, I'm
de-summoning
gonna.
them, or?
Yeah, I'll desummon them because their duration isn't much longer anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, they're gone.
All right, so they disappear and fizzle. The two big oafish fellows move in to quote unquote protect. At that point, Brujava looks at you and says, "We will go to my tent to discuss this matter further."
Thank you, Brahava.
All right, as he kind of just waves his hand to beckon for all of you to follow.
Yeah, I'm right there with them.
As I walk back to the tent, I'm gonna look at Josh and be like, "Nothing personal. I just knew you could take it. You know."
Why don't you give up your own hair? You could take it, Mr. Military Man.
I got nothing to say, but you're
Yeah.
right.
All right, where is Marigold going? Is she going to the tent as well and taking Cecilia with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see. I think I've still got Brujava's hut here. And
As we enter the hut, I'm going to be looking at Reginald. Has he done anything? And just sitting there.
Reginald, no, he is pretty much still sitting there, somewhat confused. Let me go ahead and capture her. Alright, we'll take you inside Brujava's hut then. Alrighty, give me just a second to size this appropriately. Alright. And they're not there, so they can go away. I will get you guys in here, and then I'll move you over to the appropriate map.
All right.
And who am I missing? Oh, there he is.
Always a fun time at the Agashi tribe.
Yep.
Yeah.
First
Always
It's
something
always
going on
eventful,
here.
isn't it?
Us, and then we,
All right.
Sometimes you're rescuing them from lizards. Sometimes you're accusing them of cannibalism.
Okie dokie. So yeah, inside, Bruhava kind of comes in. Before you do, he kind of looks outside to make sure nobody is directly outside the tent, and then goes over to his big, ginormous bear fur, sits cross-legged, and then beckons you all to come closer.
Yep. I'll do the thing where you drop the weapon and present yourself,
All
I
right.
do the same.
Ah.
and then
I'm just gonna sit
approach.
down.
All right. Cecilia is going to stand and be wherever Marigold is, obviously. So
Awesome.
okay. Quietly, he kind of leans forward with his hands on his knees and says, I am well aware that Godor sometimes has intentions above his station. It is not that I do not believe you, but you must understand. It is a very difficult balance in the Agashi tribe between warrior leader and spiritual leader. If I was to cast aspersions openly on Godor without clear and obvious proof, it would cause a great divide within the tribe, one that we cannot afford. It is for this reason that, as far as the tribe is concerned, they must believe that I do not side with you.
So what does that mean? You siding with him?
No. No. But in light of this, we must ask you to leave the Agashi tribe soon.
No problem. Oh, well,
What if we could do something to bring this all to light in
Yeah,
a way
what-
that even
what-
your tribe's people would understand?
or what if we just left? We don't need to be here.
Hold on.
Well, we.
To us, to this Brinkery tribe, the Agashi have been invaluable friends. We have needed you and needed your asylum, and you have well over delivered the accommodations we've needed.
By trying to kill one of us?
No, he does not stand for him.
Well, he
What I
doesn't stand
mean-
against him.
But Josh, we
Not openly.
didn't we?
It's politics, all right? I know them very well.
I'm just saying we don't need to meddle in things that we don't understand.
What I mean to say is, my
You don't
friend,
understand.
my friend here has the divine favor of a god named Tritherion, who might be able to discern the truth.
Oh no.
That way, people within an area could only speak truth to a fault. In this area, Godor would only be able to state his true intentions.
You mean you can make it to where Galdor will publicly state that he wishes to kill me?
If that is what he intends.
But doesn't that go against what Brahava just said he didn't want to have revealed?
Yeah, he doesn't want any of this.
If it could be revealed in a way that there is no proof against it. If other people tried this zone of truth and realized that it made them speak the truth, then they would be more apt to believe it.
He ponders for a second. Even if they did know this to be true, even if they agreed that we should execute Godor for his wickedness It would leave the tribe of Agashi without a wise man, without a shaman. This would create fear and bring doubt into our tribe. This would only be possible if we had another shaman, which we, sadly, at this time do not. 3 winters ago,
You could take physics.
the young
I was
apprentice
actually.
that was being raised unfortunately died. Since then, nobody has been trained and educated in the ways of the shaman by Godor.
I realize that my training isn't necessarily that of Godor's, but it is that of nature itself, and I have traveled these lands and understood them, and in all honesty, back home, my standings are not well. I'm going to look at my party, just kind of side to side. If you need a new spiritual leader, I would volunteer myself for the role.
This could not be. If you was to do this, you would lend credibility to Godor's claim that you were trying to have him removed.
I understand.
Ruhava has
Initial-
listened. I think it is best if you allow Agashi to take care of Agashi problems on its own. We will keep Godor safe for tonight. We'll make sure Godor does not leave his cave. But tomorrow you must depart.
I left the other one with him.
The other...
There's another
good job,
doll.
Physics.
There's another doll there.
Who?
Whoa, but that's
Who
not
is it?
exact. Well, guys, that's not exactly the worst thing to happen. But okay.
What?
Wait, whose is it?
Reginald's.
Wait, the one who tried to kill me?
Wait,
Tried
what?
to kill you.
What?
That was between us.
Wait, we're keeping secrets this way now?
No,
Ruhava,
no.
I thank
the one
you.
the one who's so
I
boring
thank
he
you,
he almost
Ruhava.
kills me.
I thank you, Ruhava, for your understanding and your wisdom on these matters. We will leave soon. I apologize for stirring up what was a bit of a commotion among your tribe. If ever you should need our assistance, I will see to it that some way, somehow, I become available to you.
This is agreeable to us. As I say, we will keep Godor safe until tomorrow. Feel free to rest safely here in Nagashi tribe for the night.
Can we retrieve the other statue that Physic left from his tent?
Yes, I will see to it that this is done.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will stay away from Godor for the remainder of our stay.
Yes, this is best. Stay by the fire and in the hut that we have had appointed for you. Do not go to the cave of Godor. There can be no good come of it.
We will do just that. Thank you.
Alrighty.
And with that, we'll bow out. Yeah.
I think we need to talk as a party.
Yeah. As we're leaving, I was gonna be like, guys, can we to the tent, please?
Alright. Okay, so this tent right here is the one that was assigned for you guys, so...
Maybe leave Marigold and CC at the fire. She'll be safe.
Leave her.
She'll be
Yeah,
safe.
I don't want to leave her there either.
What if she has a fit and throws her own doll into the fire? Like,
Or you could do it for her since you're so intent on doing something that puts her in danger.
I'm not intent on doing that. I was just demonstrating how it works, and I didn't have time to like switch it over. I don't know how it works. It's not my kind of magic.
Just keep her outside the tent while we talk, guys, please. We need to talk just us five.
She's outside the tent. She'll hear us anyway. So why not?
Well, she's
stay
half
in the tent?
comatose. Does it matter?
Tell her to put on her earmuffs.
Come down here.
I thought when we first got to the fireplace, I thought we had all agreed to try to stretch the stay a little longer so we could all recover, considering we've been spending the past month and a half digging ourselves out of a cave-in.
Well, that
Yeah.
kind of just flew out the window, didn't it?
Thank you. Someone just tried to kill one of the people that I need to get paid.
I'm sorry, guys. I made
Yeah.
an error in judgment.
What do
A
you mean?
terrible
What
error in
exactly
judgment.
happened, Physic?
Upon recovering those dolls, the little effigies, I wasn't sure what they were, and I knew that the only person anywhere nearby who would know anything, who's on at all friendly terms with us, would be Godor. I brought them to Brahava at first, and he suggested bringing them to Godor, who came, and when I presented them to him, he took them much like the boomstick and ran off with them. So I followed him, and it all turned out as is. It was an error in judgment. We should have just held on to them until we could maybe get them back to the city and get them to the Guild of Thaumaturgy, where they could actually figure out what the deal is with them or something. Because I just don't feel safe having them. They're a dangerous artifact, and it would be best to have them destroyed. But I fear destroying them would kill the individual who it represents, and that's why I wanted Godor's wisdom on it, but Godor instead presented his childlike tendency towards, killing people, and it didn't fit into my mind because that's not a normal thought or behavior, but that's normal for him, and I made the error any anthropologist would make, where you present yourself onto the others instead of totally accepting the culture at hand. I'm sorry.
And this is the same culture you then you offered yourselves in service to. Got it.
Back home, I'm an alcoholic. I spend every day under a bench.
At home, you're an alcoholic down here.
Well, here at least I can spend it in the company of wilderness. I don't have to be judged by...
I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you.
You've seen my mind. You know how it works. Generally, right? It's a tangled up mess full of facts, information, and a whole bunch. And then I have people literally looking down at me every day whenever I go back to that bar, and they are piss poor. They have nothing between me and them other than the fact that they're a little bit taller, and they look down on me because I'm short, and I don't have a place there. I don't. I'm as a druid. It makes no sense to live in a place with a farm this big to feed people this wide, and it just doesn't.
This is all besides the point. The point is, I know you have this thirst for science and discovery and figuring things out, but you can't put the risk of Cece at hand by handing off this doll to him. You just shouldn't have done that. It's stupid. It was very irresponsible of you.
I agree, and I take full accountability there. That was a horrible mistake.
That's why you should have taken Jash's hair and demonstrated that way.
Or literally anyone else's other than Jash. Also would have worked just fine. I'm not a secret ingredient in this equation.
What?
I'm not a secret ingredient in this equation, I said.
You have to remember, he does have a deviated septum.
I'm very sensitive about that.
Gore, you're funny sometimes. That was good.
Well,
Oh man.
this is just a mess, but I mean, so we're gonna take these statues and these two survivors back with us intact?
Yeah, no more.
Just preferred. Please.
Well,
I guess I don't know. When we got back here, I was so relieved. I dropped my guard. After seeing that, everything got shaken up. Everything's been so easy. Nothing's been easy. But now everything seems so easy, you know. It's just
We all have our addictions to things that might get in the way of making the good decision. Josh's is gold, clearly, and
I don't know what you're
sacrifice.
talking about. Ching, ching, ching as I shift up my seat.
Mr. Goldfinger.
Yours
in my
is
backpack
finding
now.
out facts and discovering things.
Speaking
Let
of
it find
which,
you.
there is another part that we need to discuss and work out. A part that I was hoping would not be revealed in front of the Bravava, but Josh, good job,
I didn't know what I meant.
I know, but it showed we were a little... Okay, anyway. There's a problem with Reginald.
Obviously, he tried to kill someone?
Yeah, me.
What's that?
He's been having urges in the middle of the night of violence, and it culminated more recently when we were traveling with Ned, where he loomed over Josh while Josh was sleeping, wanting to kill him.
Oh.
But he didn't
How
go
long have
through with
you
it
known?
That creeps me
Yeah,
out. Me, I
it's
just
Russian.
found out.
because, well, he's not all there. I mean, he doesn't even know who he is. So I
All the
figured,
more reason we need to keep him under wraps then.
Literal rats, maybe.
Josh, I mean, it was under wraps. It was just known by me because I found out
And how long have you known?
tonight.
Oh, well, that changes everything. Yeah, that
I
actually
just
does.
found out.
That actually, no, I don't mean that sarcastically. That actually does change. You're
You thought I
presenting
was
this as
keeping
a
this? You thought I was keeping the secret for days?
well, is it?
Well,
would
it's
be
kind of
possible.
important, and we did just find out about it.
Yes.
That-
So
Not so much to doubt you or distrust you, but the way it's been presented, it has certainly seemed as such.
okay. Well, coming from a man who bungled the whole Goldur thing. But anyway, okay. We need, like, he was something. He was okay. Sorry for my language. He was mind fucked, right? So we need to figure out if the dolls were the source. Like, if you cast a spell on the dolls, would it affect? I mean, that's a thing we can test out without doing damage, right? Rush, you can cast hypnotism or sleep spell on the doll and see if he passes out, because that would explain why he has all these mental hooplas.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be part of it. I mean,
Would it work though?
part of
Nobody's
what he's
been doing
saying is-
anything to the doll, and he's still been
No.
having murderous thoughts.
No, but it could have been from before, by the goat people. That's just lingering, like, because they have been getting better, right? I mean, Cecilia's saying words.
We need someone who's not insane to look at them and make sure all the magic is removed from them. They don't show magic.
Which means, yeah. So we'd have to take it back to the Guild of Thaumaturgy.
I don't think that's smart. That's too dangerous for us. I mean, that's
For us.
What about
Why have to
what about
travel
the
all the-
elves?
Yeah, that's another thing. Traveling at night. So a lot of the reason we've been able to travel as we have is when we rest in trees hidden completely. If we have a guy who's getting up in the middle of the night.
Nomad just gifted a sub to Son of Joxer. Very, very kind of you. Very
Aw.
much appreciate that.
Thank you,
We
Mikey.
Aw.
love to see you guys sharing the love with each other. Take your pants off, hit the hype.
To this community,
You guys are awesome.
jeez.
Look, the elves is a good idea, but we should go to the elves with as much information as possible. And I don't see the harm in trying to cast an innocent spell on one of these statues to see if it has an effect on the actual person.
So if I say put barkskin on Cecilia's doll, would it affect Cecilia?
Would she get that skin of bark? Yes.
Well, the only way to check that would be to swing at her, wouldn't it?
I'll do it.
Why don't we just try something like hypnotize, where we don't have to hit it?
That was the joke.
Well, that's why I was looking at Rush.
Oh, jokes. Sorry.
Yeah,
whoops.
yeah.
Not in the
Well,
joking
no.
mood.
Like the
None of us
sunbird
are,
one.
and I miss it.
Well, Physic?
I just don't see a problem with experimenting innocently. So we have all more facts than
She
Godor.
said. Okay.
But we're not vile like Godor.
Well, we need to at least rule it out, because if it's not, then it's just him experiencing trauma, and not much
Wait.
we could do about that.
Wait,
Well, there's something we can do about it.
did you heal Cecilia from the most recent wound?
No.
No.
So why don't you heal the doll and see if it heals? There you go.
Okay. I can do that.
If I could maybe make amends by doing so.
I'm gonna see if I can go over to Celia and bring her into the tent.
Okay.
Oh, so she came willingly. Okay.
Yeah.
Is she holding her doll?
Yeah, I mean she's got it and just clutching it, but she looks utterly terrified and scared of everything that's been going on here in the past hour. And probably rightly so. I mean,
Yes. Cece, I need to heal you now. I just need to take the doll and heal it. I gotta reach out for it.
Okay, well, she doesn't really try to stop you taking it, but she doesn't give it to you willingly. You have to, like, slowly peel her fingers away and take it from her.
I will do that and cast that on the doll.
It does not heal her.
Dang. Okay.
Well, did it work?
So I'm going to go up to her and basically heal her instead directly after seeing that it didn't work. Because I feel like a real awful person for
there you go.
who heals people really well.
Okay. So we know. Well, maybe it's a particular kind of spell. I don't know.
Try something else.
I think it only pertains to physical harm, and I don't know if it's the person who's been enchanted or the device.
Well, has she had any murderous urges?
Stacey, I've been wanting to kill anyone
Barely
lately.
eat and drink of her own accord.
Yeah, she doesn't answer that. She just kind of stares at you with these big, wide open, terrified eyes.
The answer was no.
Well, it could be a fugue state, you know?
What?
That's a word. A fugue state, guys.
They teach it in the military.
What's a fugue state?
Saying that she's pretending.
No, an altered state, you know, like Okay, never mind.
Well, explain the theory, because we don't understand the definition.
Look, sometimes people do things that they're not consciously aware that they're doing, and I've seen it in military. People get frayed from all the regiment and practice and days upon days of just training and standing and guarding and doing, that sometimes they do things when they're not aware that they're doing it. There's more sleepwalkers in the barracks than you possibly imagine that I've seen.
Well, in that case, any of us could be doing it.
That's all I was getting at.
So how, in your experience, how was that fixed?
Booze?
Booze?
What did you say?
Sex? Ways to de-stress? I don't know. I've never happened to me, and I didn't really care for the guys that were in the barracks that were...
I'm gonna glance at Cece. I don't think that's gonna help her, man.
But you're saying she needs to de-stress. Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, look at her. She's all wound up.
What's something you did in childhood together? You said you were childhood friends. Is there like a game you used to play?
Yeah, like StarCraft?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. You won't
Don't
point
be
to me there, Jane.
Well, we did like to play this one game when we were little, where she had this little, like a little figurine, and it was a little soldier, like one of the wall gods, and we would make believe it was, a real soldier, and we'd pretend to stand guard on the wall and protect everybody from the big bad things coming from the Vale. It was a lot of fun, and she would be the princess up high, and the soldier was protecting her, and I was just a servant, but that's okay.
Wait.
Did the servant have a name?
That's my name. We weren't that creative.
Oh, I was going to say if you could maybe bring that back.
Wait, you nobles did that for fun?
Well, we were, kind of sheltered. Didn't get out much.
And the things below the veil had to climb the mountains, and they did, and then they attacked the wall. What? Okay.
Well, just make believe. Fathers would always tell us that there were scary monsters that would come and get us if we didn't do our homework. Or do our fencing lessons.
Do your noble homework.
Counting all the money.
What kind of noble... I want to see what a noble homework assignment would be like,
Yeah.
12 serfs with 12 bushels of apples. How many do the nobles get?
Everyone else learned math by seeing how many pieces you could cut a rat into to make meals. like, what are you guys doing?
How many lashes does it take to put the average peasant on his knees?
7.
Play peasants, but she'd make fun of me sometimes. It was fun. We also played hide and seek.
Oh, I know that one.
Perhaps we could see if she'll respond to these. Maybe some way we can get her back to something safe from childhood that'll, like, I don't know, disarm this. And I'm just gonna gesture to her shaking frame.
Well, if you can somehow
entirety.
shape some stone or some wood to create a little figurine, maybe she might connect with it.
Maybe one that's not one of those. And I'm gonna point to the doll.
She has a little figurine right now.
That one's a little dangerous to play with, yeah.
One that looks like a Daleth over here.
No thanks. Okay, so we can all agree that she is harmless, right? Poor girl.
She's harmless. But she is potentially dangerous. If something were to come up, if she were to have some kind of panic or episode while we were trying to lay low, which is how we've gotten through a lot of the treachery of this land, is just by hiding.
She hasn't shown us that she would do anything like that.
She hasn't, but then the fear with Reginald is he kind of has.
So what are we going to do about Reginald?
We have to be careful with him.
Keep a watch on him 24/7.
Maybe have 2 people up for watches every night. But then, how do we break up time so that we can regain our spellcasting and how forgive me for my arrogance, but Rush, your sleep spells, how do they work? Are they lasting? Would it help him?
Doesn't last that long. I mean, I could put him to sleep. It won't keep him asleep.
Okay.
We would still have to monitor.
That makes it hard to keep track of other dangers through the night if we're having to watch our own backs.
I mean, he is a liability to our mission. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yes, but he's aware that he's dangerous. Do you really think he would protest if we wanted to restrain him?
How does he voice when he told you? Was he terribly afraid that he was a danger, or was he more just confused by it?
There was definitely confusion. It felt more like a confession to me, and it was not easily got. Like, it's not like I went to him and said, "Hey, how was your day?" and he said, "I want to kill Jash." No offense, Jash. He was. It was a little effort to get it out of him, and he didn't really want to tell me. I don't know.
Doesn't mean harm, but he's ashamed of it, perhaps.
Perhaps. I mean, if those goat people really messed with his head the way we feared they did, He's like a ticking vial of gunpowder, you know? Or bomb, I guess, is a better ticking bomb. Makes more sense.
No, that denotes he will inevitably do something.
Yeah.
What do you do with I guess I'm thinking Ned at an early age, when he was troubled, we gave him things to do. We gave him like jobs and duties that he would have to, and that helped him. I know this guy's not Ned, but and he's much older and much more developed. But maybe if we gave him more of a sense of responsibility, it would give him more of a sense of belonging, and that would override the
Well, if he is a noble, which we haven't really determined, right? He's somebody. We could do all we can, and he could be perfectly fine. And then one day, years from now, he can snap and kill another nobleman. I know you guys don't always, all of you care, but that's something that we have to risk if we were to bring him back to civilization.
And he's not necessarily useful in a fight, is he?
True.
Give him a rock and tell him it's Josh.
Yeah.
It's not funny. He was thinking about killing me.
You can handle yourself,
I was
Josh.
thinking about
Which
dashing Jack.
that brings up another question. Why Josh?
Yeah, why me?
Well, you have all that gold
So?
from the goat leader, man.
Well,
Well,
if
he
he's a
actually
noble,
said it was
Gold?
because he was snoring really loud. Remember that's
Oh,
that's
okay.
where the
I
whole
actually forgot that.
that's where the whole
Yeah.
deviated
Yeah, it was
septum
good you
thing
said.
came in.
wait, that was really the reason. I thought you were just having a laugh at me.
No, that was the reason I just temporarily forgot, because, you know.
Oh, so he wanted to kill me over snoring.
Yeah.
So he's irritable over
He's-
things like that. Okay.
He's got a lot of rage pent up then.
Okay, so how about tonight we all sleep in this tent and we intentionally snore really loudly just to see what he'll do.
Why
You
would
know?
you do
No,
that?
thank you.
To see if it's gotten less or more or still there, and then
And
we
what
can
if
maybe.
it gets more?
Let's take
Well, stop it.
let's take the bomb
end up
that we
having
were
to
talking
retaliate and
about.
protect ourselves and end up killing him.
Oh, it's an experiment to see if it's gotten better, because he said this happened days ago with Ned, and now we're in a different scenario and situation. Maybe it's getting lighter and less so. Maybe he'll just clench his fists and you know.
Think that through.
What he needs is a path for him to express his rage and talk out his anger so he doesn't do it for real.
Or
Perhaps maybe a god such as Tritherion. I think I could really help him out. I had so much anger and
You wanna
angst
give him
against
therapy?
so many things, and my god was able to save me from it. Why not? He might take to it.
or he might try to kill you in your sleep.
For being an
Or he
annoying,
might do
pious
that.
person.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's always the option of leaving him here.
They
Not-
won't keep him.
They won't keep him.
All right. There's always an option of leaving him in the forest.
I don't
To
feel
leave
quite
things.
right
So
about
killing him
either.
essentially.
No,
I'm not completely against what Josh is proposing. I'm just gonna say
I'm
that.
just throwing that out there.
Let's get him at least to the elves. If the
They
elves,
don't. they're-
Well,
the elves
Let
have
Rush.
certain magics that we aren't aware of. They have a certain arsenal of things, perhaps to deal with this that we wouldn't have. That if it weren't for the cultural similarities between the Agashi and us, I'd say that the elves were almost more welcoming. They might be more equipped to help with the problem, like Reginald. And if they can't, they can't. That's that. But until then, I feel like we wouldn't be giving him the chance we should if we got rid of him before then, unless he did something terribly stupid or dangerous, in which case we'd have to reassess.
how far is the elves from here?
I actually forgot. Is it Is it like a week or two? I think it's 2 weeks travel.
It's longer because we were starving for a large part of that, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
there
yeah.
was it's like 3 weeks away, something like that, roughly.
But the reason we were starving was also because Ned was eating all of the food.
Yeah.
Look, the only reason why I mentioned the snoring thing, the experiment, which, Rush, I understand why you're against it, is just so we can... I don't like being with this unknown. It's how I honestly felt about Ned. But the guy scared me, and I was not the most disappointed when he left us. Which I've already said, so it's no secret.
Yeah.
So I don't want any secrets to emerge from this guy. If you want to walk 3 weeks with him, keeping it close, I mean, that's exhausting on top of everything.
To be honest, the suggestion was coupled with the hopes that he would do something stupid that would allow us to get rid of him.
Oh my god! We can't just leave this Azamirian man here alone. We saved him.
But-
He's one of how many that died on the dirigible.
But Marigold, he wasn't our
He
mission.
went through trauma.
He
He
was
can
our
come back
mission.
from it.
He's still a person.
He is a person.
Do you
I
What
don't-
do
guys
you think of just leaving him?
do you guys really want an unknowable threat to go along with the person we just saved who almost died tonight?
I've been walking with
He's a
Josh
manageable
for a
threat.
year.
Wait,
Are you calling Jash the unknowable threat? Sorry, that was offended.
That was below the belt, Marigold.
Sorry, I just question.
I don't think the man
I'm
upstairs
just
will be too
joking.
happy with that. Yeah, you better be.
Get what I'm saying though.
One
It's just not
infinite
decent.
unknown. One infinite unknown I can deal with, but having one behind my back at every moment of dealing with that.
It's manageable. We've had to watch our backs the whole way here.
And we also had to act that way with Ned because we didn't know what he was going to turn out to be.
How about
That is true.
Just let me be the point person on this. Just give me a week with him. Let me see what I could do. Maybe I could, slowly talk him off the ledge and, let him release the rage and anger through.
Did he
Through
tell you
wisdom.
anything else about how he was feeling when he was talking about how he felt stressed in this?
I think that was it. I don't honestly remember. That was like a week ago, and
Well, one thing,
Wait.
if you do recall, he did actually say about maybe he actually said that he'd like to stay here. Do you remember that? He
Right.
said that he didn't feel mentally comfortable going back to Azamir until he knew who he was and what was going on, and he felt at peace, and everything was so simple here that it was easier for him to kind of figure stuff out.
I actually did forget that. Thank you. I'm gonna say that to the party.
I wouldn't have told you, but it's been half a week, so seeing as your character actually only had that conversation probably 2 hours ago, I think it's fair to remind you of it.
So he wants to stay here. Then problem solved as far as I see it.
But Bravo won't go for that, right?
How do we know? Have we asked him?
He probably won't, given the current situation, but he might. He's shown an incredible amount of understanding and patience with us. I'd hate to take advantage of it, but yeah,
But
it would
in
be
a
best for
community like
everyone.
this, how is Reginald gonna contribute?
And what does it say about us if he starts acting
And-
up?
When he said he wanted to stay here, Zalith, what kind of state was he in? Did he seem in the right frame of mind?
It was like I said, confessional. Like he doesn't trust himself.
I think the worst thing you can do for a person who is suffering that kind of mental damage is to leave them alone with strangers. Even though they think that it might be the best for them. It really isn't.
Okay, Marigold, I'm willing. If you want to use a week of us traveling to the elves to try to get some progress with him, you can do that, and I will take second watch of it with you. I mean, I'll be there as well. Not interfering, of course, but I'll just be in case something goes wrong.
Should we take a vote?
I'm willing to shoulder that burden.
Josh?
I think you know my answer. But if I'm outvoted, I'll go along with it.
Physic?
But if I wake up one time and he's just looming over me all creepy,
All
that's
paranoid.
it. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna end it. I'm just letting you know right now.
Okay.
Under a condition, he came to you, Daleth.
No, I went to him.
Right. But he confessed to you, is more or less what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Which means you probably have the highest trust with him among us. If he weren't opposed to it, knowing his tendency in his lucid mind, would he be okay with... I hate to put a man who we freed in binds, but maybe overnight if we could keep him restrained in some fashion that would prevent him from acting violently. And I guess Jash is the target for this. I don't know why exactly, other than snoring, which seems
Snoring,
completely
apparently.
inane. Completely inane.
He's irritable. Things that would irritate somebody irritate him a little bit more than they probably should.
Yeah,
Just-
a little bit more's an understatement.
Yeah, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, I think we've all
I'm
had
on
that
your
person
side.
that's snoring and you wish you
It's-
could just give them a shove and wake them up, but you don't.
Murder
But,
them.
what I mean to say is it's hard to decide, but if I were to choose one way or the other, I guess I'm more against leaving a hopeless man to die than I am against putting myself in a little more danger. However, the caveat to that is I'm a little more against putting my friends in danger, which I know it doesn't seem that way after today. I made a horrible mistake, and I'm sorry for that. I can't stress that enough. But I do value you all as friends, the closest I've probably ever had. Whether that's completely organic or because we've been forced to stick with each other through this whole thing, I don't know. But I'll be the first to say, if he does anything suspicious or dangerous or threatens any of you at any point, I will personally destroy him.
Jeez. That kind of already happened, but okay.
Physic,
Should I know?
Physic, you've done a lot for us, and you've done a lot to us, and not all of that's bad. Just want to make that clear. If Reginald becomes a liability or a threat to this group, I will do it. And it'll be humane and quick. And Mary, I know you probably want to reject this outright.
It'll
But
be
I-
humane and quick. You and Josh were talking about leaving him in the forest a minute ago.
Well, we will make it more humane. Mary, I know you'll probably is against this, but I will do it when you least expect it, so you can't stop me. It'll be on my shoulders, okay?
Gonna fire and squat the guy.
But until then, we're not going to restrain him, because if we're going to try to make progress with him, right, Mary? We don't want to negate that with overnight, hey, you're in chains, welcome to the suck.
I
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, what's your game plan for the night?
Sleep.
Okay.
Do we need
Um,
to tell him we're leaving?
Physic would be oddly enough keeping watch.
What are you doing with Reggie?
You sleep with us.
Okay, you want Reg to come in there with you?
Yes.
Okay. Reggie, no mates. Okay. All right. So, Physic, you're gonna keep watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna sack a couple spells for tomorrow. I'm keeping watch.
All right. Okay. Well, strangely enough, I mean, First of all, as you're keeping watch, you kind of get what Reggie's talking about. Jash is constantly moving and rolling and clearly can't sleep properly. He's obviously very uncomfortable.
And he's standing over Jash with a rock.
And yeah, about an hour later, you do see Reginald start to like, and keep glaring over at Jash.
We just need to get one of those nose things for Jash.
It's not so much that he's snoring. I mean, he is, but it's pretty obvious. He just can't get comfortable. You know, and it's pretty obvious why, too, because the man refuses to take all the gold off and everything, and he just can't. Everything is always, you can see him, like, rolling here and rolling there to stop this piece of jewelry from digging into his side, or this gold piece from digging into his crotch, whatever. You know, it's like constant tossing and turning. So, and the most comfortable place he does tend to find is on his back, which is why when he's laying on the hard ground, does tend to happen.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not long before you suddenly see Reginald kind of sit up, and he's got a very like red, angry face.
I'm gonna be like, Reginald. Hey.
Somebody shut him up. I can't sleep. Shut him up.
I understand. Hey, you want to take a quick walk? Maybe over to the fire. Just take a quick break from all that, and I'm gonna gesture over to him.
Perhaps that's a good idea. I'll go and sleep by the fire.
Let's calm some nerves, eh? And I'm gonna walk with him over there, and I'm going to actually pull out the remaining 75% of my bottle of rum that I've been saving this entire time. I'm gonna pour him a little bit, you know, and just hand over like, here, have a drink. Have a drink.
Reggie. Okay.
Yeah. Me and a total stranger sitting on a bench in the wilderness talking about our problems, you know?
Right. Okay, so yeah, he'll sit and sip some rum with you, and just through casual conversation, he kind of talks to you similar to the way that he was talking to Daleth. He's like, you know, I've still yet to figure out what's going on up here with the old grey matter. I still have a lot of jumbled memories, some of which I'm sure are mine, some that I'm convinced are not mine, or at least I hope they're not mine, and then there's some that I just don't know.
Yeah, it seems they had you in a really bad state down there, and that's normal for someone under your duress. Much of that's the brilliance of your mind protecting you from things that may or may not have happened from you, is creating this layer of confusion. So,
well, as I said, it's almost like somebody else was living in my brain at times.
It's interesting you should say that. When we first found their shaman, he was wearing a disguise to appear as you. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it might.
Maybe.
He was a strange fellow and seemed to really enjoy causing pain. So I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what they did.
You know why he had those dolls, don't you?
I think we've pieced it together. It was for torture and control, yeah?
Well, yes, it was. He made it clear to us that if we ever tried to sneak away or run, even if he didn't know where we were, he could kill us from a distance with the dolls. So we didn't dare try to escape. If you remember, I told you that there was 8 of us and that we were the only... You know, there was only a few of us left. One of them tried to run. He made it as far as the river. And then the beast shaman got him. He took the doll and just stabbed it repeatedly, and they dragged his soaking wet body back into the encampment. About an hour later, it was tattered with what looked like spear wounds, although they weren't spear wounds.
That's a lot to go through, man. Yeah, that's tough.
But at least here in this quiet place with all the trees, and it's so simple, and I feel like if we're staying here, I might be able to sort out my head. Yesterday I was able to sort some of the memories out to ones that I knew were definitely mine and ones that I knew definitely weren't. But I don't even really know who I am or where I'm from. I think I'm Reginald from Azumir.
Let's try and work with that. What were some of the ones you knew definitely weren't yours?
Well, I'm pretty sure I don't ever remember eating anybody alive. I don't recall all these strange incantations to some bizarre creaturous god. I have a lot of very almost primitive instincts. I have these tendencies to want to do things that I'm really sure I generally don't want to do. For example, earlier today, I found myself peeing up the side of that hut over there that you're all sleeping in. I don't really know why I was doing it. I was just standing there and suddenly I found myself, well, spritzing up the side of the wall. It was rather upsetting, to be honest.
You know, back in Azumir, I used to have a corner under a bench. and you see, I would get drunk at this bar pretty often. If you look really close in the brick there's a little hole that... Now, I'm not saying it goes directly to the sewers because I'm lazy, but, yeah, no, I know what you're getting at. And, yeah, it is really disappointing.
Well, it was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, this is the tent that we're staying in. This is our tent. And the next thing I know, I was peeing up the side of it.
It's almost like you're marking it like territory, like a dog, or...
I don't know. I suppose. As I said, I have these weird kind of criminal animalistic instincts sometimes.
Well, thanks for opening up about it. I mean, that it's probably good to talk about, yeah?
Not really. It's kind of embarrassing. But as I said,
the situation we found
here for a while, I feel sure that I can sort things out. It's peaceful here. And these tribesfolk, they don't speak much, and they don't bother me, and everything's just so quiet and sensible. It's easier for me to make sense of everything.
You'll see if they're willing to take you here, to keep you rather. To have you as a guest, rather, or however you want it put.
Yes, at least until I can sort my head out.
And if not, there are others we might be able to bring you to who might be more willing to take on the task of helping you clear your mind. I know of about one more peaceful place than this.
Well... Let's see. If they'll let me stay here, then this would be a good start.
All right.
And I am so very tired. I wouldn't mind a few days just to not have to stress and worry and constantly worry about where my next meal is coming from and if I'm going to be beaten for looking at the wrong beast the wrong way.
All right. Okay. So you said you wanted to sleep by the fire here. Do you need like any blankets from the tent or anything?
It's quite... Well, I say that it is getting a little cold these days at night, isn't it? Perhaps one of the blankets or furs from inside the hut would help.
All right, I'll go get your bedroll and be right back out with it, man. You take it easy, okay?
Okay. So...
I'm gonna go ahead and just run back and forth with them, get him to him.
All right, yeah, so he covers himself up and lays down on the pallet. The fire by now it's glowing. I mean, there's no flames, but there's still a huge, big, glowing pit of embers, so it's still a reasonable amount of warmth coming off of there. because it is, summer is gone, you're heading in towards winter. He's right. I mean, in the evening now, it is starting to get pretty cold down here below the Vale, so, even you guys are starting to find that you need to cover up at night, otherwise you wake up shivering.
Alright, so, yeah, once he's got that, I'll offer him, one more drink if he wants it.
Yep. Oh, he'll take it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And then, just to help him sleep. And then heading back to the tent.
Okay. Well, that's a good place for us to take a quick break, so we're going to go ahead and do that real fast. We'll stagger it like we normally do. If you've got any questions, it'll be the perfect time to ask them. So we'll go ahead and do a quick Q&A for anybody that wants to throw any questions out at us, game-related, cast-related, story-related, whatever related that you might want to do. So you pretty much know what Satch just did and what he said. So you guys wake up in the following morning. What's your game plan?
Food provisions, marching orders.
They'll give you plenty of that. Bruhava is willing to allow Reginald to stay. If you want him to stay.
I
Well,
would
I mean,
talk to Reggie to make sure he's in. That's really what he wants, for real. And if that's really what he wants, then
That's basically what he's saying is. His brain is too.
Yeah.
He's too confused. He's too far gone, and he can think clearly here. And he feels like this is a place that he can actually sort his head out.
I would ask him what his plans would be if he gets his memory back, because he'd be alone, right? And traveling is dangerous when you're alone.
Well, I'm sure we'll sort something out closer to the time, but I have a feeling it's going to take me quite a while to sort my head out.
Okay. If that's what you really want to do.
Well, it's... I wish my head was in a state that I felt clear, but I certainly can't go back feeling like this.
It's fine with me. I mean, guys.
Again, I fuck you know where I stand on this one. Adios, amigo.
All right.
I'll send if my spell allows it. I don't remember the ranges, but if I can, I'll send a sending spell once in a while to check up on you. Okay?
Okay, that would be fine.
And if at any point you need to come home, tell me when I am talking to you through one of these spells, and we'll figure it out.
Oh, well, okay. Perhaps you'll know where I am, so perhaps they could, if my memory serves, and maybe my family can send one of those flying ships to rescue me.
Perhaps. Knowing full well they probably wouldn't.
Well, I certainly appreciate you all saving us. I hope the girl. I hope she recovers nicely too.
I hope so too. I'm really not sure though.
Alrighty. So you've got all the provisions that you could want, full water skins, as much food as you can carry.
Thank Bruhava. Physic, I imagine, would do that more than any of us.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna address the party without Reginald for a second.
Okay.
Should we cast Zone of Truth or something on him before we go?
For
What
what?
kind of information do you want?
Well, he's still confused, and I mean, I don't want to leave him here and then find out that he was actually like a goat man in disguise or something and murdered the entire tribe.
Well, I think at worst case scenario, he maybe only take out a couple before they get him. He's not gonna kill the whole tribe.
And also, we do have his statue.
Which we've never tried to do anything with, so we don't even know if it's him.
You were the one who was against us experimenting on Cecilia.
Thanks for the resub. Much love. 39 months. Pants off.
I'm not saying we should experiment on him. I'm just saying I'm still a little suspicious of him. I don't know. It just seems a little.
Well,
why would we want to go back?
Well, Physic doesn't want to go back.
Yeah, but Physic wasn't a noble.
We don't know if he was a noble either. He claims to have been. He might not have been.
Well, if you were a noble, wouldn't you want to go back to a place where you could still be a noble?
Say that to Marigold.
I think I'm a very special case here. Usually a noble would want to go back to their riches and relaxed life.
Alright, so why don't we just leave him, tell whomever, hey, watch out for this guy, okay, bye, and then just...
Yeah,
that's it, what, we wash our hands with him.
Finger guns
No,
away.
no.
A bit of a mischief maker.
He might kill you in your sleep, okay, bye!
Both Rush and Jash is right. We let him stay. We warn Bruhava that he might be violent.
No, shall kill him.
We
In
just
which
tell him,
case, Bruhava says, never mind, you can take him.
no, don't tell him that. Just say he's recovering from
Did I say
trauma,
he
just
could
keep
stay?
an
What
eye
I meant
open.
was he couldn't stay.
Okay, yes. What Jash clarified made more... Yeah, you're right, Jash.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruhava, he's recovering from trauma. Take good care of him. And put him to work.
He's the perfect person for the tribe wise man to nurture and take care of and help.
I'm gonna leave one of my travel size Tritherion books with him.
Travel size.
She has like little pamphlets.
Their hotel version.
What are you, a Jehovah's
Yeah.
Witness?
Tritherion and you.
Read this. If one of the other mods can bring DB up to speed, that'd be awesome. Just a quick couple of couple of lines. All right, so you guys want to head off?
Let's GTFO, yeah.
Alrighty. So Westward Ho, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Well, you travel several days to the west, leaving the Agashi tribe far behind you. Go ahead and let's see. We'll swap out some tunage or noisage. There we go, and something more familiar. All right. Okay. As I said, you've been gone probably close to a week. Nothing particularly unpleasant or nasty has happened to you. You've heard a few strange sounds, but haven't stumbled across anything particularly harsh during that first week. However, given about 2 or 3 hours before dusk, as you broach a small clearing, let me go ahead and position this properly first, and then I'll get you guys on.
Goki come walking up all heavily. He scared the hell out of me. I thought somebody was in my apartment.
Goki's gonna kick your ass. Alright. For some reason this doesn't line up properly today. There we go. Alright, we'll go ahead and put you on, and and I'll give you a description of what you see up ahead.
Uh-oh. Not this music.
Okay. make sure I got my distancing right on this map. Yeah. All right. As you approach a clearing, about 60 feet away, you can see what appear to be 3 large bears chewing on some reasonably fresh kill. Initially, it's more of a, ooh, better not, don't want to interfere with those. Then you realize, however, it is a body of a woman that they are busy mauling and eating. She has,
Well, shit.
she's got long kind of, long flowing blonde hair, fairly slight in build. Probably lighter in build than Marigold, probably closer to build of Cecilia. But they are just over there.
We should scare them off, right? I mean,
We should just go around them.
you don't want to investigate? There's a dead person.
Yeah, so she's dead.
But you don't find humans. Wait, does she look human? For sure.
Humanoid, for sure.
Humanoid.
Well, is she a Gashi or we
She's
can't tell?
wearing more clothes than a typical Agashi.
Could be
But
one of
again,
the
it's
elves.
60 feet, it's dark, and you can't really get much detail.
I mean, we could scaring it off. I think would be easy if Russia and me just fire a
Ghost
gun in the
sounds.
air, you know, and you ghost sounds.
Ghost sounds away from us. Of footsteps running that way.
Maybe we can use ghost sounds of what she sounded like farther away, and they'll want more, so they'll go chasing after her again.
They probably didn't kill her.
Dainty steps.
Dainty steps.
Um,
Does Physic have a talk to animal or like calm animal or something along those lines? I think he does,
He
right?
does.
Doesn't
I
have talk
believe.
to animal.
He
No?
has.
Okay.
We talked about burrowed animals, right?
Yeah, but he and I
Sure.
can talk to burrowing animals,
'Cause
but
they're
that's it.
gnomish, yeah.
Okay.
And he can talk to plants. As a druid, I think he should have.
Yeah, something along those lines,
Let me
right?
have a
Yeah,
look here.
but did he take them? Is the question.
Yeah, that's true.
That I don't know.
Don't know.
But what I can do is just temporarily, in his absence, give all of you access to the physics sheet. Yay! So you can have a quick look for yourselves and see. See if there's anything that, And I don't know what he took, and he didn't tell me what he took, so,
He marks it.
yeah, I was gonna say, but if you look on the sheet, you can probably figure it out.
Stone shape, summon nature's ally for speak with plants, cure moderates, call lightning. Yeah.
Okay.
So the answer to that is no.
Is no.
No. You can just do ghost sounds if you want to do the scare tactics.
I don't know if they'll be scared off though, because I'm sure they'll be happily feasting on this girl. You know? Just try it anyway though.
With like a loud sound, like a something to startle them.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, we're gonna do ghost sounds.
All right. So you can do ghost sounds about 45 feet.
Like there.
Oh,
Okay.
no, we don't want them coming towards us.
Well, we can't. We'd have to move farther to get it elsewhere.
Right. Could we move this
They're not
way a
going to
little
come
bit?
towards us. They're
Well, no matter what we do, it's going to be coming towards us because we got to move into position to cast it. All right.
Well, if we
You don't think just running up and shouting and waving your hands will make them run away?
How big are these bears? Or-
Well, one of them is definitely like a huge, big, your typical big, massive, full-grown grizzly bear size. One of them slightly smaller. One of them looks a little more than a cub. Not a tiny little cub, but clearly it's definitely an adolescent bear.
I mean, my first instinct is to do a gunshot sound or something to try to scare him away.
Go for it.
I mean, you don't have to put a ball in your rifle to fire it. Obviously, you got to prime it and load gunpowder into it, but you can make it go bang without a ball. So if you don't want to waste a shot, you don't have to.
Okay. And at the same time, can Rush and Physic do a similar sound, like amplify it, make it sound like really loud?
Yeah, in theory. I mean, they know what your gunshot sounds like.
So let's do it all together.
All right. So where do you want the sound to originate from?
Are you trying to scare away the bears or lead stuff to us?
Scare them away.
Well, dude, we don't know what killed her. There could be something else nearby. We don't want to cause that much noise. We just want to scare the bears away.
That's how I know to scare the bears away. Is with a loud noise. I mean, how else do you want to scare the bears away?
I'm just saying, that's a lot of noise.
It's true, there are lots of creatures in this vale. I
Okay,
don't know what will attract.
I'm open to suggestions, but that's what I have in mind.
Okay.
All right. As they continue to consume this person,
We're so bad at making
obviously there's less. They're slowly but surely becoming less and less of her to be identified.
Ah! Oh. Okay. Sorry. I don't know.
All of us just run at it. And start shouting. Maybe they'll leave. Or maybe they'll be super freaking hungry and there's no other food and they'll just attack us because they really want the food.
Alright. That will be less noise, so let's do that.
It'll also be more dangerous for us, which I thought was the problem with me doing my sound towards us.
Oh, we can kill some bears if we need to. We've killed an entire cave of goatmen.
They're just bears. That's why I'm thinking they'll run away. There's a lot more of us than there are of them.
Chash, are you okay with this idea?
Not really,
With a
to be
lot
honest.
more of
but
us, I say there's like 2 more of us.
Being quite silent, Josh. What do you want to do?
I say we just go around them.
Nah, I don't like your idea. I want to see who this is. If it's an elf, we can.
Yes, if it's an elf,
A
that's problem.
human?
If it's an Nagashi tribe, it's problem.
Yes, let's go.
All right, Rush, do you want to do your idea? We can do your idea.
Okay,
All right.
so we'll run at them and go. Ah!
Okay, so you're all gonna just run in their direction.
Except Cecilia, which we should probably not have join us.
Oh, I was gonna put her in front.
All right, where do you want to put Cecilia then?
Over here in this tree.
Okay, so you get her to the tree. Okay, she kind of looks at you a little strange. During this week, she has started to occasionally utter a few more words, and she looks and she goes, "What are we doing?"
It's okay, we're just gonna scare the bears away.
Okay. And she kind of crouches down into a little ball underneath the tree, trying to shrink herself into non-existence.
Just don't move, all right?
Oh, I'm not going anywhere.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay, so you guys all want to charge at the tree? I mean, charge at the bears?
charge
yeah,
at
I
the
guess
tree.
so. And the tree.
Okay.
Everything. We charge it at all.
We charge all the things. All right, okay. So everybody show me how you're
boy.
yelling and hollering. What is everybody doing? Convince me I should run.
I'd just be taking my flail and banging it on my shield as I run, like a pot and pan, but with.
All right, so
medieval weapons
you're just
instead.
going along going bang, 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 bang.
Happy
Yeah,
New
it's
Year.
louder than what I yell, so that would definitely be making more noise.
Okay.
I'm
Everyone,
staying behind everybody because I don't think they're gonna be afraid of little old me.
keep the big people in front.
I imagine Physic will do some ghost sounds to try to make us amplified.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is the ghost sound of that you want Physic to drop?
Just a bunch of people charging. Ah!
All right. Okay.
Mookie.
Alrighty. Okay. Yeah. So you make all your noise. You charge forward. As soon as the noise begins, immediately, the bears kind of stop doing what they're doing. This one turns its upper torso to look to see what's coming. The biggest one kind of instinctively rears up on its back to kind of look as foreboding as it can and also get a good view of what's coming at it. The bear cub basically stares directly at the big bear and then mimics it and does the exact same thing, although it's not very intimidating. However, the one thing that's very disconcerting about this may or may not be noticed by those of you that give me a successful spot check.
Uh-oh.
Spot check.
So spot thy checks.
Okay.
We'll rush for the 21 there.
Yikes.
That was a 20, yo.
Natural
Oh, yes,
20!
Rush with the first natural 20.
Hey.
You know, only one person bet on you, Spook.
Who?
But that's okay. Because J-Feds just won. Because you...
Thank you, J-Fed.
So J-Feds had faith. And you are on the board with a 20.
Congrats!
Nice.
I'll get there
Wicked
someday.
roll. There we go. Natural 20 on the board. Alrighty. Okay. So Marigold and Rush, you see this. Everybody else would be oblivious to this. Their eyes do not look like bear eyes. They look like they are way more meaningful than bear eyes. And you could swear that the two biggest bears just went... And actually their faces kind of contorted with a look of anger. With that,
Oh no.
this bear turns to look at the big bear, who looks at her, and then you literally see the bear just go...
No.
And both these two bears begin to crash through the undergrowth towards you.
If we did my plan, we would be back there.
My plan, we wouldn't have been in this situation at all.
All right. As they start to get
Your plan's
closer,
the
all of
worst.
you can see the looks in their faces. There is something disturbingly intelligent about these bears. And
Shapeshifters.
also looks like something disturbingly angry and potentially bloodthirsty about these bears. And this is probably, I know it's a little early, but you know what? This is as good a place to stop as any.
Like initiative.
So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna stop tonight's show right there on that cliffhanger. Well met. I'm Gorbad, the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, as well as the author of thedmsblog.com, where you can find lots of fun and interesting articles for both Dungeon Masters and players alike. If you'd like to keep up with the show, follow us on Twitter at How We Roll. Check out our website, www.howweroll.com. And for our past campaigns and for some fun bonus content, follow us on YouTube at, you've guessed it, How We Roll. We hope to see you all again real soon. Cheers, guys.
Oh, hey, it's me, Satchmo. I play Physic here on How We Roll. Like, I got 2 more of these to take care of, so I'm gonna cut it short. But if you want to follow me anywhere, say Twitch or Twitter, it's just Satchmo, and Satchmo just about everywhere. I'm glad you joined us tonight. I hope you come back again sometime. It stinks.
Hey everybody, Shaggot here. I play a character on How We Roll. I'm not going to tell you who I play because if they die, I'm going to have to redo it. I've already done it once, never again. Follow me on Twitter at @aneb_convos. and I'll see you guys on How Reroll.
And that's how air works. What a good story. And I also hope you enjoyed today's story on How Reroll. I'm Jane and I played. If you want to follow me on social media, I do have a Twitter and it is Jane on Twitch with a 0, not no. That's all I have to say, so peace suckers, bye!
Roll the clip. Hello everyone, I play Jash Windstriker, a level 5 human fighter. And I really like playing him because he does really cool stuff all the time. And there you have it. You guys can follow me on Twitter at MattySweetTweet. And thank you so much for watching every Monday and Thursday. You guys are the best. I'm having a fantastic time on How Reroll so far, even though my character first ever got killed off. No big deal. No problem. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, I am the Dragon Spooker, and for you and How Reroll this time, I'm playing Rush Brinkery, the Nomian engineering sorcerer. If you don't get enough with me on the show, then you can follow me on Twitter at Dragon Spooker. You can also check out my channel, which I should be streaming more in here in the future with my new rig this year, at twitch.tv/thedragonspooker. I'll see you next episode.